Hello, everyone, and welcome to another video here on the Cycling Dane Extra channel, or if you're listening on the Cycling Dane podcast. As always, I'm joined by Patrick Blake of Audu Cycling, and he's actually back with videos of that channel, so check that out. But right now, or today, we're going to be talking about Caleb Ewan, and this has been one of the mystery stories of the early part of the year. Of course, he joined Jayco Ayula after he broke his contract with Lotto at the end of 2023, following a fallout with the management, apparently with the team. And yeah, mystery has occurred since he has disappeared from the team's website. But I mean, Patrick, what is going on? What ignited all this mystery?
Well, the mystery kind of started where he wasn't included in the Tour Down Under squad. He wasn't at the Criterium Champs or even like the National Champs road race either. Like, he just wasn't even on the start list. And I mean, he's not over in the training camp in like Alicante, which is where Scott is at the moment. And just therefore, everybody's kind of wondering, where is Caleb Ewan? He's just missing in action at the moment, seemingly. He doesn't have a contract with him for 2025 at the moment, which means that technically Caleb Ewan is a bit of a free agent. And we're just going to be talking about the teams which have been interested in him and what might happen with Caleb Ewan, I suppose, in 2025. The kind of long and short of it is that at the end of last year, Astana were interested in signing him because obviously Cav retired and they wanted a sprinter to replace Cav, especially since Astana are fighting for the relegation battle, so therefore getting somebody like Caleb Ewan in could be quite useful. But that move fell through. That's not happening anymore. Now the rumour is that he's going to none other than the Ineos Grenadiers for 2025. There's been an article literally today. Geraint Thomas was asked about this, and he said that he would be quite happy to see Caleb Ewan at the Ineos Grenadiers because they don't really have a sprinter, and he says something like 40% of races end in a sprint, and because we don't have a sprinter, we lack we miss on a lot of opportunities. Very insightful from Geraint Thomas there, basically pointing out the exact fault with the Ineos Grenadiers. What do you think, Scott, about this whole fiasco, and would Ineos be a good fit for Caleb Ewan?
Yeah, I mean, it's weird how Caleb Ewan has been one of the fastest riders on two wheels at one point, and now it's like he's still only 30 years old, so it's not like he's 37, 36. He's still got speed in the legs, and we saw that with Mark Cavendish even being competitive at a very late age in terms of the cycling spectrum. But I mean, I also just want to add this in. So his year with Jayco last year, national crit champion, didn't take any stages in the Tour Down Under, did get a couple of three top tens, win at the Tour of Oman in the first stage, then didn't have anything really at the Giro d'Italia, was a bit unlucky there, but still finished it, ninth in Rome on the final stage. He won the Vuelta a Castilla y León race, the 1.1 race, and then he took a stage at the Vuelta a Burgos, not finishing the Tour of Poland. And then, yeah, his last race was on the 21st of September in the Super 8 Classic, and he DNF'd that. So, do I think Ineos would be a good fit? I don't really think anyone is a good fit with Ineos. But no, it would be interesting if they got him there. I remember Geraint Thomas talking about Caleb Ewan when he was like 17, when they were Sky, and that was quite funny that they didn't sign him up. They called him the next Cav. But I mean, do I think he is a good fit? I really don't know. I think out of the sprinters that they could get, it's certainly not a bad one. And if they could restore his confidence in himself or whatever, or the conditioning, I have no idea what's going on. That's the whole point of this video. I think if you could get him back to near his top level, then you've got a bargain of a rider. But it seems like Jayco Ayula couldn't do that.
Yeah. Obviously, Ineos can sign him because they have Well, they have 27 riders, but I think two of them they've sent like on loan to their German development team, so they do have.
Danish riders. I
Yeah,
feel very, very
yeah,
good for Denmark's behalf.
yeah. Theodor Storm and Luxembourg. Those are the ones who have gone. So they do have one spot available, which means that Caleb Ewan could slot in immediately with this team. But to be honest with you, I don't think it's a good move. I don't think Ineos should sign him because how does he add in to this squad? They don't really have a lead out train. I mean, they could put one together, which would be pretty good. But is Caleb Ewan really the man to put on to the end of that? He is still fast. He does still get wins. He's more of a like cockard figure, I'd say now. Like better on those punchy finishes rather than a flat out kind of drag race sort of sprint that we've seen from him in the past when he was, fighting with Sam Bennett for like wins and stuff back in the tour. God, those are some pretty good days. For me, I think
Like,
Ineos. Sorry, yeah, but I just had this. Do you remember that? Do you remember that sprint? Right, I know, slight tangent, but there was like Bennett, Ewan, Wout van Aert, and Peter Sagan all lunging for the line, and it was like a blanket finish, and it was just so good in the Tour back in 2020. Anyway, I digress from that. I think Ineos would be better off, honestly, either just not signing him or basically have just signed a better rider during the transfer season when it was actually going on. I don't understand why they'd wait for Caleb Ewan, who, yeah, he might get some wins, but does that really add anything to Ineos? They seem to care more about GC. Is Caleb Ewan really going to bring in that many wins where it's going to move the needle with the team? I don't think so. They're going through definitely a rebuild at the moment. And I think they would be better off just saving their money and just going all in on a bigger name at the end of 2025.
I mean, you make a good point. Where does he actually fit in? If, like, hypothetically, he's there, Tour Down Under is already starting. So he's not going to be there to pick up the number of victories he could do there. Are they going to care about the 2.1 races? If he picks up, like, let's say 5 victories, like a handful, like, let's say he takes some wins in the Tour of Denmark, the UAE Tour, something like that. It is points, but it's not a Grand Tour stage win. And I don't know if he even fits in there. The Tour team, they won't bring him there. The Giro team, I'm not even sure they're going to bring him there either. So it would be maybe the Welter.
Yeah, probably get a Vuelta spot to fight for the sprints which are going on there, the few which are.
But he could probably win quite a few, be contesting those sprints if he only has to beat Caden Groves.
Yeah. He would get victories, that's the thing, but it's just whether Ineos care about that. They don't need UCI points. That's not really their problem. They're not fighting a relegation battle. They're fighting for, the top spots in the World Tour ranking. That's where they've fallen off. That's what they want to get back to. So I don't think Caleb Ewan's really going to be doing that. I think, like I said, they'd be better off, like, for example, speaking of big names who are out of contract at the end of 2025 that they should probably be looking at, there's Mads Pedersen and Olav Koy. Would it not be much better? Like, I think we can all agree, if you're going to have somebody who's going to get a Grand Tour victory, it's probably more likely to be Olav Koy or Mads Pedersen than it is to be Caleb Ewan. For the simple fact of the matter that Olav Koy actually won a Grand Tour stage this year and Pedersen has won loads of them. So Ineos would just be better off not including Caleb Ewan just because it would just be more complicated at the end of 2025 when it comes to continuing their rebuild. Wouldn't it? Because you're just going to end up with this kind of like sprinter who is just sort of going to get shuffled down the pack, and it's like, where do they even fit into the pecking order of the squad? It's going to make it too complicated. You'd be better off just leaving him out and saving yourself a hassle at the end of the year.
Yeah, I think it's like, okay, fair enough, Geraint Thomas saying that, but do they actually need a sprinter? Like, is that kind of Um, jack of all trades, master of nothing.
Yeah. I would there be a team like moving away from Ineos?
That is the next question. Where would you send him?
Where would he go?
Can't go to Uno X because he's not Danish or Norwegian. I like that Astana angle, but I think you said they were full.
Yeah. I honestly think
They've been shuffling some of the riders down into the development team, so maybe they could shuffle one more rider down.
they could do. I honestly think he would fit in at Q36.5.
I mean, it's the buzz that they have from the Pitcock. I don't think it's a bad move right now, and the backing that they have and the energy behind it right now, the hype, everything. Yeah, it's not bad.
Or Intermarché. I mean, they lost Maddie's Mikkels.
Yeah,
Is
but
their kind of like
quite,
second sprinter?
Gavin Tyson, Benny.
Well, that's true.
Tyson.
But they wouldn't say no to another, I don't think.
Yeah, but
like our team preview that we did of them, they don't have the most like depth in their squad roster.
But it's another sprinter, so it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, is he better than Tyson's, in your opinion? And they love him as well, by the way, because the Belgian sponsors, etc.
Yeah, I don't think he's better than Gerber Tyson. I think, but he's got to go somewhere, Scott. Honestly, I'm thinking he would go Pro Conti. I don't think he'd go back to Lotto. It would either be Q36.5, maybe Unibet, or
Unibet. Wow.
Yeah, Polti.
The YouTube finds a former Tour de France stage winner.
I don't know, Israel Premier Tech.
No, they're full now. So
Are they full?
Yeah.
Where else? Where else are you gonna go? Like X, Total Energies.
I mean, Total Energies kind of need someone like that.
Do Arkea have a spot? Would he go to Arkea? Would he go to a French team? Does that make sense? DSM? Oh no, sorry, Picnic or whatever it's not.
They've got Jacobsen and Tobias Lohn Andresen. So
yeah,
we are down to Q36.5.
I'm telling you, they would sign him. If they've got enough money to be signing Pidcock, they've probably got enough like pennies left to be throwing to. Well, it won't be pennies, but you know what I mean. Yeah. They've got enough spare cash to be throwing at Caleb Ewan, and it gives their squad a little bit more like well-roundedness. Like because in terms of sprinters, they've got Nizzolo, Moschetti, Lipins. They do have a lead-out train because they've got like Roy Townsend, Steimler, short backs. I honestly think he would fit in well at Q36.5. That's my take.
Okay. That is the conclusion we've come to after this discussion. Not Ineos Grenadiers, Q36.5. I think you're right about that. And I think Ineos need to stop. They need to decide what identity that they're going forward with this rebuild. But anyways, with that, that's basically it for this short discussion about Caleb Ewan. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and get involved down in the comments below. And we'll like to hear what you think about the Caleb Ewan situation. And if you haven't already, check out Patrick's own channel, I'll Do Cycling. And if you want to see our Intermarché preview that he talked about, you can click that here as well, or one of our other ones. But until next time, thank you very much for watching, and we will see you around.